2023 opinion on how Peter Obi can win. Across Nigerian political spectrum, many are already inundated with the idea that former governor of Anambra State and presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, will put a surprise victory in 2023 presidential election. But it is expedient to look at how such a victory might happen. If recent tempo and moves by Obi are perfectly sustained in February 2023, Obi might be able to spring surprises at the poll if he can control the narrative and the influence is currently waning in the country. Until recently, many underestimated Obi's dexterity in comparative social economics, his way to bring a change in governance, and the support he enjoys from young Nigerians. Many leaders have claimed to have achieved a lot while trying to fix the problem of Nigeria, but obvious metrics suggested that they have surely failed. The Labour Party candidate stands a chance of winning the 2023 presidential election if his issues listed below are well addressed: funding, the obedience structure, and support base. It is a great thought that Obi built a structure around 100 million Nigerian and 35 million unemployed persons, including unpaid pensioners, but without serious funding, the hungry voter structure might be demoralized to deliver victory for the Labour Party in 2023 elections. If Peter Obi wants to truly win the 2023 election, his handler should be putting up their thinking cap on crowdfunding to boost his campaign. The need for a viable political structure in winning the election cannot be overstated. Obi's existing political structure is practically scanty. He's only riding on the strength of social media populism, which will not be able to soak up the daunting political challenges, particularly in the north, where his brand is yet to be felt. Besides, considering the financial wherewithal of Obi's contenders, Atiku Abubakar of the People's Democratic Party and Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu of the All Progressive Congress, it is obvious funding is a problem that must be immediately addressed by the obedience. With good funding, the Labour Party can begin to look at expansion strategies, accommodating aggrieved members in other parties, aligning with oppositional political parties that are putting on a good fight against the ruling government, as well as robustly migrating the obedient ideas into the northern part of Nigeria. All this will require great costs. If Obi intensifies media appearances and campaign spending, a lot of angry voters who are already dissatisfied with the two major mainstream political parties will take him more seriously. Imperatively, if the huge online supporters get their PVCs and translate into online activism to real-time votes, Obi will be a formidable candidate come 2023 election. The 2023 election is coming at a time when the entire country is intensely charged. The Obi camp needs to bear in mind various issues and unforeseen circumstances that could mar its chances at the poll. Considering the Nigerian peculiarities, it may not be certain yet what the 2023 situation will look like, but previous elections have witnessed issues such as rigging, vote buying, arrest of key chieftains of some parties, organized violence in major states, towns, or areas where a candidate has a higher advantage of votes. There's a huge amount of planning and resources that will go into the entire process as the election is approaching, which Obi cannot look away from. Promoting Labour governorship candidates. Labour Party needs to put its governorship candidates in the face of the people in all the states where elections to ensure the party gets closer to the people and to put up a good fight ahead of 2023 election. By taking this action, Obi will be able to ride on the strength of the candidates and leaders of the party in each state to reach out to the grassroots and essentially win more people to his camp in order to do a good number at the polls. A good example is Osun, where Honorable Lasun Yusuf, a strong political force in the state who is contesting for governor, is left alone. Obi has done more of a one-man show. He has not been at the forefront of campaigning for the party's governorship candidates. As at the 2018 election in Ekiti, Obi was not on ground to support his party candidate, Olugbenga Daramola. At the time, he chose a trip to Egypt to study the country's education and power system, among others. The vacuum between Obi and state politics, if resolved, will make his journey to Aso Rock in 2023 possible. He needs to be reminded that he cannot win the presidential election in isolation. He needs more foot soldiers across all social divides. Intensifying voters' registration. Only a few years ago, people were not as adamant about voters' registration or election, but the narrative has changed now with the Obi movement. So Peter Obi appears to be scoring high. Here, most of his campaigns and messages are targeted at not just increasing his supporters' base, but majority getting voters' card. Luckily for Obi, celebrities are behind, like P-Square, Final, and others are behind the push to get your PVC. Obi is winning on this side. Revisiting alliances and major, there is no denying that Obi is the arrowhead presidential candidate from the southeast extraction of Nigeria, but it is not enough to win a presidential election in a country where the majority of votes come from the north. It is still expedient for Obi to revisit joining an alliance with other forces in the north, despite that he has picked a Muslim northerner, Yusuf Baba Ahmed, as his running mate. He still needs more allies who command huge followership in order to appeal to mass majority votes from the region. Obi also needs to reach a truce with the political leaders in the southeast who are not convinced with his presidential ambition, regardless of political parties. No matter how difficult, the Labour Party needs to find a strategy to ensure togetherness with his people, especially people of his political kinsmen. Many have emphasized that Obi will successfully form an alliance with MPP, but it has failed. Also, Obi will form alliance with parties and candidates who have lost out in concluded election to leverage on their structure in all states ahead of 2023 election. Again, he needs to reach out to core Arewa leadership. Obi needs the support of Arewa leadership to have a smooth ride in the north. A prominent voice in the north and chairman of dialogue group Mahdi Shehu has said Obi is here to visit them in the north to present his plan for the region. Some of these, if honestly put together, he may become the president come 2023. I hope he listens. What is your opinion about these ideas? Will he work towards making this a reality, or will he still believe in himself that he can run it alone? Kindly make your opinion known as you subscribe to my page. Thank you, good day, and God bless.